I really should get around to writing the rest of that song, and me and Tempo need to perform like a full version of that song at some point. Because I wrote another verse for it that we didn't sing because it was too long, but I didn't actually write out the full song. I should really get around to writing out the full song. I love parodies, man. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ting Open. It's game number 1 of the winner's match. Nobody's eliminated from this, but the loser will go on to fight against Alive. Spawning here to the lower right, it's none other than Root Gaming's blue Protoss, herO. With his opponent in the upper left, the red Protoss, Splice's Zone Stats. Ooh, I got one of those good net cracks. Alright, so for this matchup, I think I'm going to put my money on Stats. I think he's got a lot more solid ways to play PvP. And unlike TVP, herO doesn't tend to get really cheesy when we see his PvPs. So I just feel like Stats, if they're both like hypothetically going to play quote-unquote normal games, nobody's doing anything too ridiculous or all in, no proxy dark shrines, I think I give this series to Stats. But if herO starts mixing it up, then I'm not sure that'll be the case. Do you play music as well as composing? No. Okay, so here's the thing, guys, right? Real talk. I've never been diagnosed as tone deaf, but I might as well be. I have no sense of rhythm, flow, beat. But what I am really good with is wordplay and writing lyrics. So Tempo and I have had like kind of a good team up. We've done a couple of projects. Actually, can someone go to our YouTube channel, find the big one? Our first ever tournament for $5,000, we wrote a rap about, right? I'm good with the words, but not with the flow. So I'll work with Tempo. We have this great combination where he'll basically fix things up to make them flow better after I've given him like all of the words and the lyrics. And it's usually just changing like a word or two here and there, but it's a good teamwork situation. I like it. I enjoy writing. But anyways, silliness, whatever aside, we got some actual shenanigans stepping up here. Gateway coming down. I said herO. I didn't know if he would get super cheesy in PvP because we classically haven't seen him do it, but he's gonna get down right dirty for this first game. And this, oh, it's not one gateways, but two stalkers pass each other in the middle of the map. They're gonna have a little bit of a scuffle. I don't know how much damage this will do, but it won't really matter if herO loses this fight or not because he has so many more that are on the way. The big thing he is doing by keeping these stalkers preoccupied, though, is Stats not walking across the map to see that herO doesn't have a natural base, to see that herO has got nothing at home because it's all being proxied with soon-to-be warp gates. After a couple of stalkers get warped in, he's going to collapse on these stalkers, kill them with relative ease, and then keep going. The scary thing here, though, is, and I kind of hope he fully walls this off, without a mothership core at home, these two adepts, if they shade into the base, all those probes are dead, and none of these gateways will matter if he can't afford to warp anything in. Also, I saw those bits. We'll get to those in just a sec. I'm sorry, because this game is actually maybe gonna determine a winner already. The overcharge is great, catches 2 of the stalkers, he'll trade up for 1. But these adepts get through. He was looking for the wall. If he misses it, Stats is going to get in that probe line. And this is a huge problem. The fact that herO has to warp in his own adepts, this takes away a lot of power from the push that he was setting up across the map. But this keeps him from losing the game outright. This stops the probes from all getting annihilated, but 7 down is 7 down. 17 workers, 1 base. Now he's all in even if he didn't want to be before. Maybe this was like just that commitment of aggression and then he'd take his Nexus and extend a lead behind it, but that's not the case. He shuts it down. Stats with the defense, ladies and gentlemen, takes game number 1. Also, who was Jibby? Dude, Jibby, you spoil me, man. I've known you for like about a minute. You treat me like my best friend. 1,101 bits come in to say, happy birthday? Oh, happy birthday to Mr. Boris Makarov. Yeah. Is Boris in chat with us? Is he awake? This is like super way too early. But yeah, Mr. Boris Makarov, our head moderator, it's his birthday today. It might be a little bit early for him, but where is this? Ascension Ire. There's a little bit of translation you have to do when doing stuff with Koreans, because the map names obviously for them are in Korean and they translate them back to English, and they kind of do it in this weird like phonetic sense. So they, whoops, sorry, Alive, get out of here. Don't want you. Need Stats in herO. So the maps are not exactly written in a way that makes sense. I can't kick Alive. I guess I have to wait for him to time out. Okay. This will take a second to get in the game. Mr. Boris is in chat. There he is. Dude, I already gave you a birthday shout out. I'll give you another one because Jimmy gave you those bits. Thank you, Mr. Boris Makarov, for being who you is. And happy birthday, man. There we go. Get out of here alive. Kick. All right. See you guys in Ascension to Ire. That's right, Rifkin. You gotta unmute things so people want to hear the stream. I got it, Rifkin. All right, game number 2 kicking off here very quickly. To the top left side, we have the red Protoss player stats. Repping that splice tag. His opponent to the bottom right might not have a cool tag, but it is Root Gaming's herO. I really like what I think the intention of what he tried to do there, but stats played around that very, very well. And I think one of the things I really liked about it was the fact that it was so solid. Even if it weren't for the adepts getting across the map and doing a little bit of mineral line harass and what have you, like he had it unlocked in at home. He nailed those force fields, he trapped the stalkers. He did it perfectly. How on earth does Rifkin come up with such insane intros? Asks Roman Well. To be honest, the intros didn't always used to be super amazing. If you actually, we've uploaded almost every intro. There's actually, if you go to YouTube and you search BaseTradeTV space intros, you'll have a whole list of intros we've had from the years and years of ladder that we've been doing this for. And to be honest, they used to be very bland. I'd say within the last 6 months, I don't know, I put more effort into it. That's all I can really say. I stopped half-assing it. That's what it comes down to, I guess. But I'm glad you guys like the intros. There's a problem I came up... not a problem. I've talked about this very openly before. Where, first off, it's nice. It's nice being one of the top dogs in StarCraft, guys. I never thought we'd get here. I never thought I'd be here. But it's nice being here. The downside is there's not a lot of competition for it. And it sounds weird to say, because Rifkin, shouldn't you be happy being top dog? But competition, for me, is what drives me to do things. It's my biggest motivator. I'm a very competitive person. So without someone to try and be better than, like, I don't have any more inspiration to keep improving the stream and push it further. I've tried to artificially do this, again, like forcing myself to suck it up and do the intros and what have you, because I always want to put on the best show that I can for you guys. But without someone else challenging these numbers and making me fight over viewers like it used to be, like back when we would barely pull like 1,000 viewers, that was like when we were on the same line as everyone else's channel, so we were striving to be better in every way. Maybe it was a map intro, maybe it was a giveaway, you know, maybe it was all these little things that can make us just get that extra viewer or two. I don't have that drive anymore, man. So I really do genuinely try and encourage other streamers out there. Like when I invite Wardy on to do stuff, or we donate things to these other streamers, like it is kind of in the hopes that like they will step it up too, and at one point there'll be that competition that drives me to be better. And I think that's part of like the dead game meme associated with StarCraft 2. Everyone's trying, there's just not like, even with the streamers, the individual streamers, like everyone has their time zone that they're comfortable in. They don't want to challenge and try and compete with somebody else. Like, I don't know. I'm getting too much into it. I'm reading too into it. I want more StarCraft content, period. I don't care who brings it. But yo, we got some more bitty bits coming in from Jibby. Thank you very much. Let's all go to Maynard's stream instead. That Maynard guy. Pff, he's just got a bunch of cool emotes, right? And some dreadlocks. Who is he even? As I try to quickly put my tier 3 Maynard sub in chat. There we go. Golden Maynard. Actually, I love Maynard. I'm very glad that he's agreed to come cast BTSL every Wednesday. Or most Wednesdays, at least. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, Oracle's going to get into the main base of stats, but guys, he's positioned his pylons very nicely. This is a Illuminati triangle of defense. No way for him to get in here, so hero's just forced to cast Revelation and back away. He does get some good scouting with this, though, because while I've been talking about nothing related to the game, it's worth noting Stats hasn't seen much more than his initial poke in, so he doesn't really know, or didn't know for sure, that this would be a Stargate versus a Robo or anything else. The same could be said for herO. Wasn't quite sure what Stats was going for until that Oracle scouted. But herO's got no chance to get in here. Stats has got the main base on lockdown, the natural base on lockdown. He had a hallucinated Phoenix head out too to scout what the defenses are going to look like, so as that War Prism comes in, it can properly choose which base it wants to attack. I'm not sure what it's going to really warp in for now, though, because there's not really any tech choices of stats here. Like, he doesn't have Blink, he doesn't have Resonating Glaives. I didn't realize his Twilight Council's not even done yet, so... Maybe this is just some Adepts to run around the bases and be kind of annoying. Stalker's looking for a shot on the Oracle. It's not quite gonna get it. Still chasing down the middle of the map. herO's main is got these extra gateways coming in. I don't think production's gonna be a problem for herO at all. And because it's kind of still a techless game overall, production's gonna be what matters most. But Blink will be finishing for herO soon. They'll give him a small lead. Whether it's jumping on top of that Warp Prism or whether it's just simply out microing your opponent in a fight like this. He could give chase to Stats. I mean, at the same time though, he's a little bit worried because he doesn't know that Stats doesn't have this. His scout got some good information, but it didn't see the back of the base. It very well could be a Twilight Council right here. How cool would that have been though? I didn't actually know what the Twilight Council was. Like, what if I was like, yo guys, as far as herO knows, there's a Cyber Core right here, and it's like, whoa! I know, it'd be so cool. While this goes on, the Adepts come to poke in, and I guess Overcharge is going to push this off real quick, so the Warp Prism, maybe it's going to pick up a couple of worker kills here and there. It won't be that crazy. Third base planted down. It's a little bit slower than that of herO's, and Stats knows it, but he'll catch up. Oh man, I'm getting called out. 10 out of 10 observing. The sentries got sniped and Rifkin missed it. I did. That's my bad. 3 sentries going down is actually kind of a big deal. But luckily enough, I guess the overlay provides enough information that you saw that anyways. So, hey, we all good. No, I'm terribly sorry about that, guys. I was actually reading something, so I don't really have a good excuse. I can just admit faults and hope that I don't miss any more awesome action for you guys. Although the Oracle's in play still, the two of them, whether it's for damage, again, getting in there to snipe things like a sentry or not, they're going to be starting to place down things like stasis traps here and there. And stasis traps are always a little bit fickle, because I've actually seen a couple of these just straight up end a game in a PvP, and then sometimes they're just worthless, and you're kind of like hyped over nothing. Not to mention, we actually have Archons and some things out too. So if one of these, if enough of the army gets trapped, like you get an Immortal, maybe like a Zealot or two trapped in these, they can remove a large portion of the army, and while it might not be game ending, it'll win you a fight in the right spot. But, ooh. Dove and Wolf coming in with 1,000 bits to say, have at thee, Jibby. Is that new bit boss mode? I think that is. Oh no, Jibby's got like 10 health or something remaining. 15 health? I don't know. Not quite killing Jibby just yet. Someone might snipe it. Anyways, a poke here for the Blink Stalkers isn't going to get a lot done. Another Hallucinate Phoenix heading into the main. Again, it's just going to see a lot of, frankly, everything here. I think the big thing too is he's got Chrono on the Forge and the Twilight Council, so he knows that tech is really underway. But both players have kind of passively gotten to this 4-base situation. Well, 4-base for herO. Should be soon to be 4-base for Stats. Yeah, they're taking it as we speak. Missing a bit of the Stalker scuffle out here, but really with 3 Immortals, it wasn't ever going to be a real fight. This is always going to go in the favor of Stats. If herO commits to any of this, like, yeah, he'll pick off a Zealot maybe, but that's not much. As long as the Archons and the Sentries stay alive, that's what matters most. Oh man. Jim Sock tried to snipe the bit boss. Was a little bit late because Jibby healed himself to full. So get riggedy wrecked. And thank you guys again for more of these bits coming in. Jibby with 1100. You guys are hopefully having a good time with that bit boss. Don't forget, whoever's boss, I think it's like once an hour, always boss glory and boss tax. Claim all your prizes. The Stalkers though are having some trouble. I thought maybe this was going to be baiting Stats out of position for something, but it doesn't actually seem like herO's setting up another attack elsewhere. Like, there's no Warp Prism heading northwards. There's no Oracle heading towards the main, especially not with cannons here to defend either, actually. So production for both players just kicking up slowly behind this, and I thought Stats may have pushed into that base. I mean, I guess the problem is Stats doesn't actually have vision, so he doesn't know about this base. herO has every step of this game been like one base above Stats, kind of barely, but... stasis traps here. Ooh. See if Stats gets trapped by anything. I think he's fully aware there's going to be some. It's just like the magnitude. There's like 3 or 4 of them right behind this army. Trying to take this fight, there's a little bit awkward. There's a lot more Archons here for herO, but a lot more Immortals here for stats. The Archons are going to win out that Zealot fight initially here for herO, though, which is going to mean Stats won't have cannon fodder for his own units. If he loses too much of his own fodder, this goes bad. But with the Warp Prism warping Zealots directly, new ones hit the front line, charge hits the Archons hard enough, and it does push this back. But again, this might be almost like a bit of a bait. If he can grab Stats and force him into one of these stasis traps, he's going to collapse on the half of the army that doesn't get trapped, and then kill the other half when it gets freed. Either way, lots of Archons are playing out very well here for herO. Oh, he doesn't have the energy to cast Revelation. That's a little awkward. Unit count right now is 7 Archons to 4. Archons versus Archons aren't really that big of a deal. They're not biological, so they don't take the bonus damage. But the Zealots are, and that's where this really gets important. At the end of the day, a whole wave of Zealots, like a warping of Zealots, could take on the Immortals, the Stalkers, the Sentries, even the Archons to a degree. So the idea is that you fight them in the choke, the Archons have that splash damage, and the Zealots go down. Hopefully and ideally. I kind of missed the days where Protoss was all about layering. Like, you had the layer of Zealots in front of the layer of, like, Stalkers, in front of the Colossus and the Immortals. Like, it played so perfectly. Excuse me, did I say Zealots? I meant Archons. But behind the stats is doing some weird stuff, guys. Look at the production tab. Oh, look at the attack in the main, too. Hang on, we'll get to this in a second. Both players trading out right now here in the middle of the map as well. Mothership on the way. Killing one of the forges kind of cuts into the upgrades here of stats, but I don't think those upgrades are really going to be too big of a deal. Big recall back to the main. Catches that Warp Prism, kills those Zealots. Not a lot of probes die. Only 2 end up dying for this attack. But Mothership's can provide a lot of stealthing, and herO, I guess he does have Oracles. Revelation might make this not big of a... Whoa. Revelation might make this not too big of a deal. Seriously, what's going on with the bits today? Wolf literally blowing it out of the water. 2 sticks of dynamite, 2 huge bombs, big executions, corpse and phalanges and bits go everywhere. Okay, so Phoenix is going to be what takes out the Warp Prism, finally removing this from the equation. He can't let these Zealots keep getting away with this. The cannon's going to help defend a little bit. That's a big part of this. The positioning for warping in was huge here. But DTs in the mix are going to make for cost-efficient Archons if he doesn't want to spend gas on it. herO's getting his own Mothership. We're hitting this real late game period of the game. And we do have a Fleet Beacon plus double Stargates coming down out of stats. So he's going to see that transition maybe a little bit before herO. But funny enough, like, again, the income's been all over the place this game. And not because one player is doing necessarily better than the other. It's just simply the pattern in which they're expanding, you know? herO expands first, has that income burst, stats catches up. If he expands, then he'll have the income burst, and so forth and so forth. But carriers are going to be a really awesome element to have in this. My concern is both players have pretty terrible scouting mechanics here for detection. There's a run-by coming up here, and I say a run-by, it's a huge amount of Zealots, but as we see, Stasis Trap catches most of them. But yeah, there's like a single Oracle over here. I don't even... Does Stats even have detection, actually? Stats has a couple of his own observers. I said Oracle, I meant Observer. Excuse me. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. This detection, guys. But it's something that feels like going to get picked off very easily. Like, if the carriers see and just target fire down that one Observer, this gets really bad. One Zealot in the mineral lines, getting quite a few probe kills, actually. This guy's already up on 6, 7? He's going to be on like 8 as soon as he triple kills here. Attack to the south gets pushed off. DT is actually pushing forward now, too. Okay, this guy's got riggedy wrecked. So did Jibby. What is... Not Jibby. Wolf got riggedy wrecked. Because Jibby comes in with ninja stars, dude. He's chucking stars left and right. You were saying Wolf? Thank you for those bits, man. Holy crap. This is crazy. Well, I guess there's a mad slaughter happening in 2 different fronts. The Phoenix there actually reveals the carrier. I think it's the... No, he actually said that already. I take that back. But still, confirming the carrier. This is the War Chest carrier skin, by the way. Some of you might be wondering, why does this carrier look so different? Why does it look so cool? And because, yeah, it's from the War Chest. The unlocked one. I actually, I like the way the Mothership looks. It's all Tal'Darimi. I know it's like the red theme. It just matches Stats' red team color pretty well. But what I like most is he didn't use the Immortal skins. The new Immortal skins are really dumb. I really like that he used the old ones, the classic ones. We're actually starting to see a little bit of personality from players in that regard too. Some people are choosing to keep certain Hellion skins and use other types of skins to match with them. I'm personally a big fan of the Hydra one you can buy, the newest one that came out. Not the War Chest one, but the super spiny looking one. Anyways, this cannon's gonna be a bit of a problem, but not for long. Zealots take that out pretty quick, and there's DTs in this army. Focusing on the Nexus is a bold strategy, Cotton, but it's not gonna pay off. Warp Prism in the main, though, is getting a little out of hand. Both players are going to be throwing Warpins into play. Big recall out of here to save the base, but in doing so, now alerts Stats to say, you know what, that army's out of position. He pushes through the middle of the map, and he's got quite the army with this. We got Archons, we got Immortals, and of course, above all else, we got that mothership with those carriers. Huge Warping coming in round 2 in the main. Oh, I just realized herO didn't have a Dark Shrine until just now, so now Zone DTs might be able to clean this up. A little bit of a gong show with detection, but oh, recall doesn't save stasis trapped units. Today I learned. We just never see this mechanic be part of the game, at least nothing to determine it. So these are 3 Archons that are going to die for free. That kind of sucks. Another recall coming to the main, trying to stop these DTs from getting out of hand. Killing 3 Archons is not the end of the world because Stats has a bank, but those are very expensive units to lose. But we're heading on Golden Armada versus Golden Armada territory here. And honestly, I don't know. We've seen these games actually stall out. Nobody really goes Tempest anymore because the supply costs made them a lot more difficult to manage. They don't quite snipe carriers the way you wish they would, nor the mothership. I think a really important element to this too will be having what units underneath it. Again, Archons and a couple of Zealots can go a long way. Unfortunately, this means Immortals are kind of falling out, but not that important anymore. Were important early on. Someone in chat saying, the fuck? Okay, hang on. There we go. I was waiting for the sound to come in. Wolf. He's up in the ante. 7,000 bits, and he brings a robot army to destroy Jibby. Yo, robots apparently are better than ninjas? Question mark. Exterminate, exterminate. Oh my god, they're not robots, they're Daleks. Oh, it's even worse. It's worse than I feared. Anyways, right, go down the middle of the map. Thank you, Wolf. You're always being awesome, dude. Nice to see that green badge next to your name in chat too. But yeah, this is a tough fight. He might just recall out of this. I'm not sure if he wants to actually fully commit. For both players, it's awkward because Archons can help deal with the Interceptors, and as we see, there's more Interceptors fighting Interceptors than there are anything else going on here. So not a lot to accomplish. In fact, a lot of this is playing around the carriers, I feel. Zealot run-bys and what have you. But these Immortals down to the south, you know, as I was talking about before, their usefulness and supply is actually tapering off as the game goes on. So using them for run-bys and kind of sacrificing them in the process frees up supply to get better and different units out. Warp Prism, though, also now going to be warping in a ton of Zealots to the natural base. Both players have to be protecting their production, too. Stats actually is getting caught really off guard by herO. herO's going to get a base kill and then maybe some production kill, too. I mean, killing probes, honestly, like at this point, both players could stand to lose some probes. They really don't need this much supply in probes when they're back to 1 to 2 bases mining. Yikes. Beautiful recall after that base pick off. He's going to get a few more kills down here. Stats is down 57, down to 57 probes, but as I just mentioned, that might not be such a bad thing. Imagine a Dalek skin for Immortals. Yeah, that might just be a little bit illegal. A little bit copywritten, but it would be cool. I agree. Although I feel like the Stalker would probably emulate it better because the Stalker shots kind of look like the Dalek shots just a tad. But yo, we're getting all Doctor Who up in this, and we're casting some StarCraft 2, which rhymes with Doctor Who. Oh my god. What would, let me ask you guys, for the Doctor Who nerds in chat, what would be the StarCraft 2 equivalent of the TARDIS? Obviously there's no time travel equipment in the game, but just in terms of like what it serves as a function. I kind of want to say like a warp prism, just mostly on account of the hole it's bigger on the inside. Like this thing can fit a Colossus in it, right? Like, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. The army down to the south's been chased off. It's 9 carriers to 7, 7 to 11. Again, grab that Slurpee, boys. I'm surprised there's no Tempest in play. I mean, like, 1 or 2 to force a fight would make a lot of sense to me, but again, I'm not a PvP expert, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know what I'm talking about. The Zealot run-bys, though, do make a lot of sense. And again, this continues to be one of those problems where no matter who you are in the situation, whether it's hero being attacked or stats being attacked, your army is big and it's slow, and you don't want to be burning a ton of recalls trying to constantly get back home when you're thinking about pushing. So these Zealot run-bys, it's just minerals. It's not so bad for hero to be throwing them away like this. In fact, resources lost is almost dead even. I wonder what the income looks like actually right now, too. Yeah, with stats having lost that base and the probes, it makes sense that he starts falling off. But hero's actually not the one who has the bank for him. Stats is the one who has that pretty awesome bank. 7-Eleven was an inside job. No, it's 7-Eleven is a part-time job, man. Yo, these cannons are actually a pretty big deal too. These will help pick off those interceptors a little bit quicker. But this army is like a spear of death. There's just so many pointy carriers ready to get in that front line. And now it's 11 to 12. Carrier numbers have evened up quite a bit. Gonna go with some immortal drops. If you can skirt around the bottom side of the map. I was gonna say dark side of the moon for some reason. That's my brain going out with this game, guys. But yeah, game 2. Ref commit 9-11, right? No. 7-Eleven. It's a part-time job. I'm just reading chat. Ooh, big recall. He sees this come in, and he anticipated a lot more. But by recalling, stats can move in. He's going to realize this, too. It's only cannons for the defense. At this point, you know, he's probably better off killing the pylons. I mean, he'll kill everything here so freaking quick with all these interceptors. So, yeah, he target fires the pylons, rendering all the cannons useless. And he's going to get a base kill for this. Now he's going to have to walk away, too, because the army's coming back. Other side of the map, though, we got some run-bys going in. We got DTs trying to stop DTs. Zealots on top of this, too. Nexus getting attacked, but I think he should hold on. The cannons are the detection he needs. Actually, one thing I'm a little surprised about, neither player has an Oracle in play right now. Excuse me, they do. They just haven't been tagging, I guess? Okay. I was about to bring this up because, like, Revelation on top of this is huge. Revelation will stop that Mothership's cloaking field effectiveness and just make it a really expensive, strong unit. But, man, I know sometimes PvPs can go like this. It's just, it's so tough. This isn't about, like, either player being stupid or doing anything too crazy. It's just... It's about finding one player slipping up slightly and taking advantage of it. The fact that he's going for 4 Void Rays now means he can maybe focus down a carrier or 2, but the reality is all the interceptor damage here with some focus fire from both sides, anything that gets into the range of the other is going to die. Sorry about that, I had to take a quick drink, but 3 more Stargates coming down to stats. We got air game versus air game. This is kind of crazy because, of course, we had that one game, Innovation Alive, Terran versus Terran. They went air game versus air game too. All those Vikings, all those Liberators. It's all about that ultimate late game, boys. Kill some cannons and backs away. Interceptor deaths have been marginally small this game too, 21 and 11. So, again, this just for me kind of speaks out to how little the commitment here has been. But Revelation on both armies so they know where they're moving. Hero can pull back to intercept this if it goes a little bit too deep. Some probes aren't being given away here. Again, supply here is being kind of valuable. Man, we're about to have like 3-3-3 across the board for Hero. Like literally every upgrade plus plasma shields. Stats is kind of close. He'll be missing ground armor, I guess, which not the end of the world considering there's very few ground units in play anymore. What few ground units they have 10 health. So actually armor upgrades are starting to seem a little bit silly unless it comes to terms with like zealots or something. But one small thing Stats has been doing slowly is killing a lot of pylons behind this. Now Hero had such an abundance of pylons, this didn't really and wouldn't really affect his supply. And it's not about depowering anything, like you don't care about the gateways losing power, you can repower this fairly easily. It's the fact that at some point this actually starts cutting into Hero's supply cap. There it is, in fact, right there. So as I had just mentioned before, supply being very valuable, you know, you're giving away probes, you're giving away immortals, you don't care if these things die because you just want to give up that supply and make room for better units. Well, frankly, if you're stuck at 188 supply, you're not remaking any of the units that you're losing. Attack on top of the base as well as the carriers went to the main, and the Nexus gets sniped and he recalls the heck out of here. Follow those interceptors home, boys. I will say, for as late and stalemate as this has gotten to a point where Stats has taken some serious... some serious control over the game. I had to double take those bits. Jibby comes in now. I'm not sure what we're bit bossing over necessarily. I want to like find a prize for you guys or something, but like 8,000 bits and oh, insult to injury. Dude, he's mocking Dovenwolf. He debates him and foreheads him. Oh, the PM right now. I love it. This is... He just did the equivalent of manner muling Dovenwolf in chat. Alright? That's some downright dirty play. But I'm actually kind of glad there's some bit boss action going on in the background of this because this has been such a slow game. Stats is doing a lot of things right. Stats is doing a lot of things magnificently well controlled and handled, but wait, did he just throw probes across the map for supply? I think he did. Yeah, okay. I was wondering like how all these probes are doing. Anyways, giving away, again, making up some more supply. Supply being very valuable. They've got a bank. They don't need to mine that much right now. But anyways, like I was saying, Stats was making a lot of the very right moves in this game. Like, he gave up a lot of his supply early so they could make room for things. He's cheeky little tactics like the pylon snipes didn't pay off at the end of the day, but I really love the idea of where he was going with it. And frankly, it could have maybe killed herO. The Void Ray is not going to get too much done. He almost gets some damage done on that mothership. There's so many Archons though, guys. Oh my god, I didn't even realize he had gotten up to 15 Archons beneath this. This is huge, actually. Having given away his Immortals and his probes, he freed up a lot of that supply. So 161 of this. Those Interceptors from herO try to engage, and those Interceptors are going to get mowed down by Archons, who, again, they don't deal bonus damage to Interceptors, but when you've got 16 Archons hitting Interceptors for, what is this, like 34 a pop? Oh boy. Stasis traps are funny to see. I kind of forgot about those. Those were past tense a really big part of the game. But Stats has officially forced the issue. Now there's danger. If he wants to recall, he's going to be recalling into a fight. He might just be forcing a base trade at this point. I'm a little unsure what his follow-up for this is going to be, plan-wise. Void Rays, of course, are going to beat out carriers and a mothership, but they're not going to beat out Archons. So he continues to make Void Rays behind this. He's actually supply blocked. These will be his last 4 Void Rays coming out. Despite the desperation... Oh no, he recalls. Oh, I don't know. This is dangerous territory, boys. Archons can beat out this army. I feel more than the carriers will. But both players are just fighting over nothing. It's just a mess. It's a blur. It's Interceptors for Interceptors. We're just going to watch the units tab, because that's going to be the only indication of what's going on right now. This is so ridiculous. 16 Archons are going to be, I think, the badass factor. Normally we talk about storms and things, but if you got enough Archons auto-attacking, who needs storms, right? So they get underneath this and they're blasting away a lot of those Interceptors. Both players falling and losing so much of their army so quickly. Void Ray's now trying to focus fire on top of the carriers. Prismatically aligned, the Void Rays doing well, but they get two clumped up. The Archons splash him down. The Void Rays out of the fight. Now it's 9 carriers to 11, but it's still 15 Archons pushing through. Almost no Interceptors remain for herO. He's out of units to actually fight with. He's dying to the Interceptors, killing his own Interceptors, and Stats looks like he's about locked down this game. Even though there's this crazy base up here to back up on, guys, it's not going to matter if all these carriers can't fight because they can't build any Interceptors. Each Interceptor that comes out dies. He's got almost none. He just can't fight. There's nowhere for him to run to. The mothership can't recall. This is his final stand. GG. Stats with a 2-0 leads the series. The Ace OMGs in chat were right. I was literally going like this while I was casting. Okay, Stats is in a fantastic spot to lock down this series, maybe with a 3-0. It's the winner's match, though, so again, context where it is. If Stats wins, he's out of the group in first place. Yay! Easy peasy. herO will then have to fight against Alive for the last slot in the group. I don't know how that'll go. But before we go to game 3, we are going to duck away to a quick 2-minute break, as that was quite a hell of a long game. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you so much for the bits. Hang on. Before we go, what are we at? We're at 29,311 bits from this weird war between these two dudes. I don't even know what to say about that. Thank you so much. You know what I'm going to do? Hang on, where's Yo, okay. Dovenwolf and Jibby, do me a favor. I can't do this now because I can't show this on stream. I have something private I'm going to show you, and I'm going to hook you up with this too after the stream's done today. So send me a message here on Twitch so I remember, because I will forget. My brain is dead. Whenever I get off stream, my brain's just dead. So send me a message, guys. I want to hook you up with something awesome. But until then, like I said, commercial break, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, thank you guys for watching those commercials. We are back. We're actually loading into the game. It's Odyssey. A little bit late. No intro. You guys know how the deal is. Let's just hop into it. As far as Jibby and Dovenwolf go, though, I want to find something for you guys. Whether it's a super secret thing that I'll offer you in a DM, or whether it's some Corsair gear or something, I want to hook you guys up, man. You guys have spoiled me friggin' rotten today. And it feels so good. So again, thank you guys so much! What the fuck, dude? The Rainbow Kriegasm! Everyone, bow down! The Rainbow Kriegasm has approached. Woohoo! We get something awesome. 10,000 bits! What the f... All hail the Bit Boss! Unless it broke and he's not the Bit Boss. No, he's the Bit Boss. Yeah, he's the Bit Boss. He's the Bit Boss's boss. Alright, guys. I will talk more about how much I love you in just a moment, but let's get these player intros out of the way, because it is game number 3 and possibly the end of the series, as this guy is up 2-0, putting his opponent on match point. It is the Blue Protoss Stats. And in the top left, none other than Root Gaming's herO, who is not doing so hot. But this is what I was talking about, guys. When it comes down to it, like, stats is stats, and I just got so much faith in him to take this group by storm. When I found out it was going to be that PvP between him and herO, I'm like, well, herO's kind of a... I don't know if he's going to hold up to the macro games of stats. I mean, last game, I feel like, too, just watching what happened, it's not like herO messed up a lot, but I just sat there saying, like, stats has... I just felt like stats had a lot more experience. He's probably been in that situation a lot more, too. He handled it way better than herO did. And just like, again, I'm gushing, but I love stats, guys, because he's such a good player. But Dovenwolf comes in with another 100 bits to say, you realize, Jimmy, that BaseTradeTV is the real winner here. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. Obviously, yes, I'm lapping this up, and I'm loving it. You guys are awesome. Whether it's 1 bit, 10,000 bits, you name it, it's just, I'm stoked to see people cheering bits in the channel. But also, I'm feeling a little spoiled. Like I said, we're going through this like weird 12 days of Christmas with Twitch channel support right now. Day 1 was follows, day 2 is subscribers, day 3 is apparently fucking bits. It's blowing up, and I love it. And I thank you guys so much for it. But yeah, like I said, whether it's Corsair Gear or something, again, send me a DM on the channel. I'll make sure you guys get hooked up with something as a thank you. Like, this has been nuts. But okay, Stats is gonna have to deal with a Stargate opener coming out of herO. That's not gonna be fun. Good luck dealing with that, man. hero's also going to be getting aggressive with these couple of adepts as well. I think the Stalkers are okay, and the Mothership Core not being kept away greedy is a good move. If he did delay the Mothership Core in favor of his own tech, I don't know that he'd actually be able to deal with a follow-up. But these first couple of adepts, Stalkers actually beat out adepts. And I love the wall-off. This is so clever. Again, this is me just gushing over stats, doing everything exactly correctly. He walls off, cancels, walls off, cancels, because adept shades can't transfer through buildings, so keeps these out of the base. And again, 2 Stalkers can take on 2 adepts in such a one-sided fight that it's not even close. 2 more adepts gonna come into the fight. The Stalkers can still handle this, and beyond this, oh no, he missed the build on this one. He does have Stalkers ready to intercept in the main, and he's pulling the probes to try and deal with these a little bit quicker. More adepts also looking to transfer in, but while this goes on, this is meant to be a distraction. It does bait out one of the overcharges, so the Oracle might not have 2 to deal with. But between 4 Stalkers and another overcharge... Ooh, actually, Stats doesn't have a pylon in his main. herO may have noticed this. Yeah, he was veering off course. He was rallied to the natural, guys, but changed it to the main. Realizing there's no pylon here with those adepts that poked in. There's still Stalkers, but this might just suicide in and try and get a lot of kills with it. Same to be said over here. Stats' defense, if it's solid, this is such a good way to get ahead of herO. herO has to actually kill a substantial amount of probes to make this worthwhile, because his build made his Nexus later. His probe count itself is actually not that impressive, despite killing many of Stats'. 7 probes dead, but he's still like 7 probes behind. So he's got to do a lot more to make this pay off. Otherwise, this is very much Stats being ahead in this game. the fuck? Yo, can we get some ace M's in chat? Just so everyone else can make it feel like they're making a rain like these two guys are? Jibby says, this is really burning through my Aussie dollars. Yo, my dude, I've never even seen the 10,000 not like this emote before. Like, I mean, I've seen it in the list, but I've never actually seen anyone use it before. That is so dope. That is 10,700 bits. Boys, we in the money now. And they start making some rap videos. Go buy 7 Rolexes. Actually, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but still, thank you guys. I don't know what to say. I'll try to cast the game. How about that instead? The oracles dip in here and he kills 9 probes, and this suddenly starts being maybe worth it. But the problem with this is a third base was taken out of stats. So all of these probe kills that he's been working so desperately and tirelessly for, Stats is not only going to be able to produce a third amount of them at a time. To deal with this, he's going to have a third chrono boost as well. herO still has not, I feel, done enough damage to truly get ahead in this game. And the fact that Stats has this probe over here chilling, he knows that herO doesn't have a third base either. He's definitely going to get ahead with this Nexus. Shouldn't that be the new top cheer? I can't control what's pinned at the top of the stream. I think it just goes with whatever the default is. To be clear, Jibby and Devinwolf have definitely cheered enough bits today that it's more than the top cheer, but unless I think it's just a all-at-once combo thing. So Mesa in a while, go through in quite a bit. Ninja Stars and Sword of Glory. Also, people trying to figure out the dollar value of this. Yeah, about 100 bits is $1 is what it comes out to, which is nice. And I love bits. I love them, guys. I love them so much. But yeah, I'm sorry. I am actually getting annoying with this. So I'll maybe calm down with it just a little bit. But thank you guys again so much one last time. herO, speaking of annoying, has, as someone in chat states, also been very annoying with these oracles, with the harass, with the adepts. In fact, just going back for a tally of kills, 23 probes in total, but still Stats matches him. herO did do something a little bit cheeky by taking a gold base. This is actually going to be really good for herO, who was playing a little bit behind. Again, income's been all over the place. There's been trades and probes and what have you, but this gold base is going to net him a lot of money very quickly. This actually alone plays catch up in a weird way. It's not going to get him ahead. A gold base isn't that powerful, but the fact that his third was delayed for so long, the gold will help accelerate that and keep him on par here with Stats. So Stats is no longer like rocking and rolling through this game as easily as he was before. But I really like Charge. I really like these High Templar too. Even if they don't kill the oracles with feedback, just stopping them from doing anything. You know, feedback gets cast, it means no revelation, it means no damage. Yeah. I guess not gonna get to see those made. It's just possibly, oh, different ones are being made into an Archon. Okay. Archons won Stats that last game too. I imagine he's very, very happy playing with Archons. This is a very interesting move, by the way. herO's been going out of his way to pick off observers. This is the second one that he tries to snipe. But there's no DTs coming up behind this, and there's no fast motherships, so I'm really curious on, maybe this is just simply to remove vision, and that's fine, but it's just, again, he's going out of his way to snipe observers specifically. Jimmy says at the start of the day I didn't have a bit badge. That's true. His bit count is like through the roof now. There's those feedbacks though, which is really nice to see. So again, it stops the oracles even if it doesn't kill them. Their pulsar beam is entirely dependent on them having energy. It brings it down to a quick 0. Feedback's a really interesting mechanic too. I have no comments on the balance aspect of it, but just the design of it's really neat. Just waiting to see this. Does that probe have no shadow? Oh, it just blends out the green. There we go. Sees that fourth base timing. So again, with the gold coming down later, gold coming down sooner, they're kind of evening things up. I guess herO is down upgrades, so a decisive lead for Stats in that regard. Unit counting station is 6 Archons to 2 as well. That's going to be really nice. These sentries won't be able to do too much. The odd force field that they throw down is going to get crushed, and Guardian Shield doesn't really help with most of what's available here. In fact, if anything, those sentries might be better off casting hallucinations, If you guys don't know, there's some cool hallucination mechanics to the game too that we see rare and often, not often, but more on those in a moment. Big attack heading into the main right now. Stats, huge amount of zealots getting in here. If this cuts out those pylons, this cuts out production, and then Stats can't fight even if he does have a better army because he won't be able to warp anything in. But he gets on top of the Immortal. He's going to shred these zealots. This should be very much a Stats-sided fight. That being said, though, he's losing so much back at home in the main. If this is going to force into a base trade, then good luck, have fun. Stalker's coming in to kill that mothership. No more overcharges. Oh, Stats' pylons are all gone. These gateways are all totally depowered. He's now in full-on trade mode. He's gone for his own Dark Shrine, but he's going to have to build more gateways. He actually can't build anything. He has 0 gateways active and available. So if it is going to come down to DTs, yo, this makes so much more sense about trying to snipe off the observers then, because he's also going for his own Dark Shrine. Squeeze me. This is kind of grody. If this was his plan all along, herO that is, excuse me, not Stats. I know I've been talking about Stats so much, so I realize that trails on, but in this base trade, probes are pulled across the map. He's got enough money to build a couple of Nexus if he needs to. He's not gotten on top of the pylons. There's overcharges, there's cannons. Like, Stats is losing this. Oh, this is not how he planned on this to go. He couldn't even finish off what was in the main. That one Immortal still stands. He is killing these other bases, I guess, which is nice, but again, if herO just gets like 1 or 2 DTs in, Stats only has the 1 observer. If this gets picked off, DTs win. I love the probes around. They're helping! I'm just wondering what Stats does. I really don't know what's going through his mind right now. He may not even realize... No, he knows about the DT Shrine, though. He saw that while he's in the main. The Observer still sees it now, I believe. Stats is being revealed as well. Not that it matters. The buildings are on the other side of the map. hero's come home to do a final fight. Zealots charge in the top of the Archons, boys. Probes for probes. Fight on that front line. Stats is actually taking not too bad of a fight, but his supply's starting to fall off. We're gonna see him despite the Warp Prism Micro. hero's matching it with his own Warp Prism Micro. GG. herO takes the game. Stats will not run away with a 2-1. herO holds on to fight a little bit more. Who's Bit Boss right now? I've lost track of this shit going on. Jibby, currently the Bit Boss, with way too much health. My dudes, I'm not, like, I don't say this to bait you, so I'm gonna say this straight up. Stop throwing bits. You've done your job, soldier. Thank you guys so much. This blows me the fuck away. I can't even tell you. This is nuts. Where's the Mech Depot for the next one? Where is this here? But okay, as much as I've been showing the bit appreciation and all this other stuff, again, thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm glad to see 4,000 people joining me here for the solo Rifkin cast, for the winners match of this group, and all of your support beyond that is just icing on the cake. But let's get these players in here as I try and walk and talk. Inviting the wrong players again. I keep doing this. It's very awkward. Welcome back, folks. It's game number 4. Let me just get that score up on the board for you in this best of 5. He's held on and is trying to bring it back. In the top right, we've got the blue Protoss, herO. With his opponent still winning the series and only has to win this game to lock it down, it's Stats. Also, we had Flesrudelik. Yo, long time no see, Flesrudelik. I hope you've been well. Thank you for blessing us and gracing us with that Twitch Prime sub. Good to see. Everyone, Jimmy crying. Guys, leave me alone. You can't afford any more bits, guys. You can't heal them. All these little 1 bits at a time. There's one day a while ago, the dumbest, I can't even remember who started it, but we had this like weird death by 1,000 cut spam. And we had like 11 people in chat spamming 1 bit at a time that ended up killing a fucking like 8,000 health boss or something stupid like that. That was the greatest show of teamwork I've ever seen in Twitch chat, if we're gonna be honest. People talk about counting to 10. Twitch chat can't count to 10, but they can kill a boss. One bit at a time. I have been through like 3 water bottles this cast, by the way, guys. This has been an awesome one. hero's gonna put down a pylon over here, though, and I'm really curious about this because this is a really suspicious way to do it. Stats has a probe in the main. He would see the fact that a pylon is missing. So there's very little to be said about the sneak attack element to this. Stats knows something is coming. It's just a question of what, and that's what he's got to play guesswork around. Sorry, I said Twitch chat can't count to 10. Dude, Twitch chat can't even count to 5. Mr. Boris Makarov throwing bits in on his birthday, dude. No, it's your birthday. But thank you for the 500 bits and taking a stab at that bit boss. Yo, Boris, tell us in chat, what are you doing for your birthday, man? Don't tell me something boring like working. It's a Sunday. You gotta have a good day on a Sunday, and it's your birthday. Hopefully going out for a nice dinner or something at least. And if you're not, then I'm gonna fucking find a way to donate money to you and take you out for a dinner, man. Treat yourself. It's your birthday. Don't give me bits. I had to ban Jibby yesterday and make him sleep. Don't think I won't do the same to you, Boris. I called into work? No! That's not what you do for your birthday. Oh, man. Alright, the attack here has already been deflected by just putting that pylon down. Again, Stats did this last time. Whether he actually wants to commit to leaving it down just to remove the headache, or whether he wants to actually like cancel it and play this micro game. Uh-oh. Mothership coming towards the main. No, actually, he's fine. The Stalker alone should be able to deal with this. The Mothership core can overcharge and push it back. Because sometimes this poke gets really annoying, and this ends up being something that kills like 3 probes and recalls out of there. In fact, you get 1, 2. Oh, not quite 2. Gets 2. Almost 3. Recalls out of there. Oracle coming in now too. Overcharge is not quite ready to go. Pops it a little bit late. These 2 Stalkers will try and ward off the Oracle, but this will probably pick up another couple kills if he wants to stick around. Just gets 1 on the drive-by. I mean, this attack out of hero, not bad. Killing 5 workers, but this is, again, the similar problem we saw before, where he takes a later Nexus because of this. Stats has more probes to lose because of this. Another round of the Oracle coming in, but this time there's plenty of Stalkers and an overcharge instead of a last-second desperate pylon. Doesn't quite kill the Oracle, but still getting good kills. Actually, control out of hero for this has been pretty fantastic too. Should give credit where it's due, because he's been gliding these around. Classic, as in the Korean Protoss player Classic, probably has some of the best Oracle control in my opinion. And this is hero actually looking very similar to that, so kudos to him. He does have to pull out all the stops though, if he wants to win the series to just be out of the group. Oh, Oracle's zipping and zapping. He's gonna lose one of them for this. The depth comes in too to spice things up, and 8 probes die. Now starting to get that lead over Stats. 2 bases to 2 bases and no third Nexus on the way. More probes is better. Hero's up by like 6 or so. 7? I can do math. What's up? Stats is gonna finally try and pay him back a little bit. He was hoping there'd be no defense at home because of all the amount that's been invested in aggression, but ooh, a little bit dangerous there. A little bit spoopy with double overcharges almost catching that Warp Prism, but picks up and gets out of there. Maybe heading towards the main, but still, like, with Stalkers on patrol and this Warp Prism being kind of low, it's a little bit dangerous to put anything in here. 6 range pickup or not, won't matter if the Warp Prism's dead. Alright, well, Stalkers find the Stargate and get on top of this. But the Oracle's come back into the main once again. Another 5, 6 probe kills on that drive-by. Does lose one of the Oracles this time. That kind of sucks. Considering he's going to lose the Stargate, or at least the power to it as well. Can't really afford to lose this next one. With both players investing in DTs, detection could be what wins or loses this game for either player. So having that Oracle, very important. Stats? You could get an Observer or 2 out, sure, but right now, that Observer's across the map. Man, these oracles have been so annoying. Again, somebody said it last game, and I'll just quote it again. Like, herO is good at being very annoying in this game. He's killing more probes in the main. Stats has lost a lot of workers at this point, tallying up to 25. Hoping DTs would change things, but there's an observer here, so it's not going to be the case. This DT is killed immediately. Dead on arrival. Second one goes to the natural, but there's an observer over here too. Oh, Stats really want to play cheeky to make up for that probe damage, but herO is ready for this. Can't beat me at my own game. Right, Revelation over here. Sees the mothership force still at the natural base. Might see this as an opportunity to go into the main with the DTs. And it kind of looks like that'll be the case. Yeah, as the DTs unload, they're going to head on over. There's no detection here initially, but again, he made observers, but they're across the map. Stats going to tap out. Okay, GG. He took so much worker damage, I'm not surprised. Even if that wasn't the DTs, he may have just felt so far behind. Because at the end of the game, it was 46 probes to 20 probes. Like, that was getting out of hand. It was really getting out of hand. This means we are going to go to the ace match, but we also going to go to another 2-minute commercial break, so I can take a moment to breathe and get another bottle of water, so... herO really bringing it back. We'll see if it's the reverse kill or not. Either way, see you guys here in a couple minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Nope, damn it. I caught myself. Muted. I mean, I just wanted to show off the fancy way to swivel the camera. Alright guys, we're back from break. It is game number 5. Things have been tied up 2-2. And this is totally, definitely my first intro. In the top left, it's herO. With his opponent in the lower right. Splice's stats. You know what? It was bound to happen eventually. It was day 3 finally happened. Mark it down in your calendar, guys. But Stats had started off this series so strong with that 2-0. I thought this was going to be like a quick 3-0. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But herO has really brought this back. A lot of it's been through being cheeky and annoying. And frankly, we'll use the word tilting even. Let's see if Stats can handle it for this 5th and final game. Although, keep in mind guys, both Stats and herO demolished their Terran opponents in their preliminary matches today. So the loser, if this goes on to fight against Alive, might not be that scary. Also, during the commercial break, we had Dugmar come back for 37 months on that resub. Thank you very much, Dugmar, for coming back 1 more month in a row. MT Mentat says, quick question for Base Trade. Are you guys at DreamHack Denver? No, I'm sorry about this. A combination of terrible experiences at DreamHack Atlanta combined with the fact that TwitchCon is the same weekend, we're not going to be at Denver. I would have happily gone out of my way to do it despite the what happened at Atlanta, but not if it's at the same weekend. So it didn't time out well for us, unfortunately. And I'm looking forward to TwitchCon. Hey, by the way, speaking of the sponsors of the tournament, we haven't given them proper shoutouts in a while. Quick reminder to check out TING, bttv.ting.com, all that good stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Because we're going to be working at the TING booth while we are at TwitchCon. For the 21st and the 22nd, I think I'll be spending most of the afternoon at the booths. One of those days, we're actually going to have a meet and greet at said booth. And if you guys are at TwitchCon too, on top of this... Oh, I forgot to show off the cards. Damn it. Okay, I'll have to remember to do that after this game. But we got some cool stuff to give away at those booths. There's phone chargers. There's a couch. You guys should absolutely come chill out. You can meet Jessie, the woman from the commercials whose voice you keep hearing. Kyra, she'll be there too. It'll be a pretty good weekend coming up. I'm excited for it. Plus, real talk, look, okay, there's like sponsors, there's responsibility. I just want to party on a ghost ship. The Twitch after party is on it's on a haunted ship, the Queen Mary. I'm never gonna be able to say I partied on a haunted ship ever again. So I'm super excited for this. Or at least I would hope that I never get to say that again. Death is a sad thing. Glad to be back, brother. Been lurking a lot more lately than I would. Oh, thank you, Fles. I'm Rudlik. I can never say your name right, so I don't blame your friends. But glad to know you've been watching and hanging out on the channel. Also, Jibby says, I just did the math on how much Aussie money I spent BaseTradeTV. Oh, God. Dude, I know. Your Aussie dollar is about as crappy as my Canadian dollar, so, brother, please know I really appreciate it. Not because of the amount you gave, but because of the amount you lost. I'm not sure what hurts more, innovation losing the group, or knowing how much money that translates to, because I am also less than the American dollar. Which is kind of nice too at the same time. Again, for those who don't know, I am Canadian, and Twitch pays in the United States dollars. So that's kind of nice. Until you get charged all these weird conversion fees from your bank, and you're like, cool. Lost a bunch of money just because I'm Canadian. Feels bad, man. By the way, this Warp Prism Micro for the Adept is so sick. You know, there's a clip on our channel. I'm not sure if someone will be able to dig this up. herO had the most insane Warp Prism Colossus Micro I have ever seen. And this is just reminding me of it right there. Like, little moments like that are the things that make herO great. Like, I guess when it comes down to it, for me, my brain, I think macro game, stats, micro game, herO. And that's like an every time thing. Not like a, 60-40 split. Yeah, herO's got absolutely immaculate control when it comes down to it. Also, I'm a little bit curious, speaking of stats, what are our stats looking like? We had US barely keeping up before, and it looks like, oh my god, South Korea is still dominating the viewership today. 22% to South Korea, but the US has risen from its 7% up to 16% of the viewers coming from the United States. Canada at 4%. What's up, homies? But yeah, right now the viewership location, South Korea, then United States, then Germany, then Canada. So if you guys are any part of those four, the top four, big shout outs to you guys. Thank you for tuning in this early for the TING Open Korean group. Also, I guess this one's only two. We do have two, outside of this one, we have two groups remaining, the qualifier groups. One of which is a European group and another of which is a Korean group. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys come back for that Korean group. But Warp Prism heading on over to the main should get intercepted by these stalkers. It's got Templar in it though, so this is kind of funny to see. Like, there's no storms. He's not timing this up with storms. I wonder if he's gonna make an Archon, or maybe he just messed up. I don't know what hero's planning to do with two Templar that can't swarm. Oh my god. Okay, either he forgot to do this, or this is just timed out in such a weird way that he'll leave the Warp Prism chilling for a while. Get the energy up for the Templar safe and sound inside of it. It'll be unscouted and undetected. Or maybe he just forgot Storm. Honestly, I don't know. Either way, it's funny to see. Oh, Warhawk Gaming reporting in from Alberta. Yo, my streamer friend Venruki is from Alberta. He's a pretty rad dude, so I'm gonna assume you are too. What's up, my fellow Canadian? How are you know? Listening to Phoenix is checking the main. Man, there's actually a really big problem here with these storms. Not in terms of timing or being late or anything, but like if these actually get in here, these will kill a lot of probes. Because the timing for this, funny enough, works out to be that this is about when mineral patches are starting to disappear, so probes will be stacking up a little bit more. Thank you, Dr. Foxhound. Oh, that new sub tastes so good. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much. I'm not sure I made that sound. I apologize. No, I don't. Venruki's an amazing WoW player, says Labia. First off, amazing name. You just tricked me into saying that. Secondly, yes, I agree. Venruki's the only reason I started watching WoW Arenas at all. My friend D Machine as well, I guess. Small shout out to him, but he, I think he's working at Blizzard nowadays, so I don't know how much involvement he still has in the PvP scene. But there's some storms, looking not too bad. Maybe he was thinking about feedback in the mothership. There we go, gets the kill on top of it. Oh, herO, you're so downright dirty. And I love it. This was actually handled really well out of him. The fact that he got 12 probe kills was okay. Like, that was good, don't get me wrong. The mothership snipe on top of it, though, was just like, icing on the cake. Both of these live. There's no air units to chase it down, so the Warp Prism gets to chill for a while. And this might go back for round 2 or round 3, given enough time. He's gotta be very careful about this. If actually Stats has his own Templar too, by the way, he could just feed back the other ones, ideally, before they get their storms out. Who's got the faster clicks? Who's got the faster micro? I enjoyed the solo cast. He drops an Ace 10. Yo, I love that Ace 10 emote. It's like the cutest emote. I'm so in love with it. Oh, we had a, sorry, I missed it. There was another Prime sub coming in from Ala Wenchen. Thank you very much. I'm hoping I said that right, because it doesn't feel like there's a lot of other ways to say that. People say the reverse kill is real. Look, it's a little too early to call it, guys. Stats, yeah, he took some damage from that, and that kind of sucks, but his army supply is holding pretty damn good. Archon count's not too different from one another. There's a big disparity in zealots, which is actually a concern for me. Other than that, if they're in the right position, this might not be too bad, but downside is Stats has allocated a lot of his army to be sitting down there, defending, chilling, waiting for this Warp Prism to come in, anticipating more storm drops. So he's missing a little bit of his army for the fight. The force fields go down, but it's a bit useless because Archons are already on top of this. But 7 Archons to 5. Stats is the one who has to, excuse me, hero's the one who has to back away from the fight. Feels bad, man. Rifkin hoping he says someone else's name right. Hasn't said my name right in 4 years. Look. Maybe I have a disorder. You're making fun of a kid with a disorder, man. How does that make you feel? I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't say names right. This is never gonna happen. I've accepted it. We had that question a while back. I still stand by it. If you had a superpower, what would it be? I wouldn't choose the power of flight or superhuman strength. I'd pick the ability to say people's names correctly and not forget them either, so that when I meet them and I introduce myself to them the second time, it's less awkward. Anyways, charge lots on the front line. This is a really interesting dynamic. The Adepts are going to be better damage than the Zealots, but the Zealots are better tanks than the Adepts because those sit in the back line. So Archons fighting Archons, and Immortals getting on top of this. This actually ends up looking pretty good for Stats. I just realized I've got the colors reversed all games. I'm just going to swap that really quick so it's less confusing to look at. But the Archons are starting to die out. However, he's going to take the overall army fight. That being said, part of the reason for this is the Adepts transferred out. They abandoned ship, and they headed straight to that mineral line. So Stats may have won the battle. He might be losing the war. 27 probes die behind this, and we're not at that point in the game where he's got a bank to start removing probes in favor of supply. More Adepts get warped in over here. This Warp Prism's that same nasty-ass Warp Prism from earlier finally gets killed, but not before unleashing some more Adepts into the battlefield. This has gone pretty bad for Stats. Even if he wants to play the macro game out of this, I don't even know if it's worth replacing the probes, and I think that's his contemplation on this too. Never mind, he does start building some new ones. He was holding off on building for a bit. Usair 65118 wants to know how does Rifkin say my name. And then, hey, I know how to say this one. This is like the counter curse, right? Graham J. Henry, thank you for that new sub. Fellow Graham out there, I'm sure you're fully aware of how people can never say our name correctly either. Graham. Of course, everyone else probably thinks I just said the same word 3 times. I know that you know that I didn't. Anyways, bonding aside with random subscribers, Big Warpin's over here going to try and make this game up and get some of that probe damage back, but I don't know if he's able to. The attack on this base is going to be huge though. You know what? Stats may have lost a lot of probes, but he didn't lose any of the actual Nexus. If he were able to actually kill this base out of herO, this would be great, but unfortunately, it looks like he's already being driven back. Archon counts are pretty similar here. The extra Immortal's a lot of extra damage, but they're also wasting shots here on gateways and not shooting at the other Archons. The Graham that's not the Cracker. Get out of here. Look, I had to deal with graham cracker jokes probably my whole life, even now into adulthood. So I'm done with those, man. This is the GTFO period of time. You're not cheeky, you're not clever. Shut the fuck up. Zealots. Ooh, I like this actually quite a bit. This was what I talked about earlier. There's a big difference in Zealots versus Adepts when it came to those first fights. This time hero's got his own Zealots to fight with, and they're looking pretty good. They get on top of the Immortals. The Archons from Stats are starting to run out. He's got no money for warp-ins. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to see the reverse kill come into full effect. GG! herO takes it back from the 0-2 to win 3-2 and gets out of the group in first place. herO doing fantastic work for that turnaround. Like, that was sick. Now we have Stats go on to fight against Alive. This was not the matchup we had earlier, by the way. It was herO versus Alive and Stats versus Innovation. So Stats fights against Alive for the very first time in this tournament for this very last match coming up. It's a best of 5, it's a TVP, and we're going to find out who joins herO in the round of 16. Keep in mind, too, the Korean group is really weird. We have a Laser, a European, and Solar qualified from the very first Korean group. So it's 2 Zergs and a Protoss. I'm personally praying for a Terran, but we'll find out if that ends up being the case. We're gonna go to a word from our sponsors, guys. This is TING coming at you with some compatibility stuff. We'll see you soon.
If you've ever wanted to check